How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the final update for the Archmage Ice Nova build, kind of where I pushed it, what changes I made along the way. We have made a little bit of changes from where we were last time. Last time I believe we were still running the Headhunter and everything already. We did end up changing our wand to one with Haunted by Tormented Spirits here. I don't even know where I put my old wand. I didn't sell it. I know I didn't do that, but I don't know where I put it here. Um, yeah, so with the old wand versus the new one, if you can't afford the trader or the haunted enchant here, what did I do with that? Lightning? Oh, right here. There we go. So again, if you can't afford the one with Haunted by Tormented Spirits, you do just want to run one with Lightning Bolt. And I was running this with Archmage support, with Power Charge on crit, and with culling here. So the same thing, just minus the Wave of Conviction. This basically was giving a ton of culling DPS. So you can see here, like the culling DPS that you're actually getting out of this is quite significant. You know, when you compare basically having culling in your wand versus not. You can see the actual DPS difference between the two. I actually don't have my old wand in here still, I don't believe. Versus the new one, but you can see here basically the things that have changed again. We have gone to the Haunted Enchant just because there's nothing that beats it in the game. The 35% movement speed and cast speed is just already excellent on top of the Tormented buff. It just is kind of like a Headhunter on top of the Headhunter. We did end up changing our supports quite a bit. So we did end up realizing that Archmage, or the running Arcane Cloak, or Arcane Surge rather, support on our main links was incorrect. Versus you want to be running Power Charge on crit, and then you just basically, I run rarity for everything, and then I'll swap Power Charge on crit if it's something like Ubers or something, where the rarity is not doing anything. And then we move our Arcane Surge over to our Arcane Cloak with automation. Because Arcane Cloak doesn't have any mana cost, it does actually reserve nothing in order to have this here. So that's all stayed the same. We are still running Frostbomb, Sigil of Power, and Conductivity in our shield. And then we are, again, we have our culling here. If you are just running this instead of running Wave of Conviction, or if you don't have the trigger in here for Wave of Conviction, then you would just run this with, I don't know, whatever you want. You can run a mark on hit here, and then you can move, put like Elemental Weakness in your helmet instead of Assassin's Mark, things like that. But pretty much the main thing is just Arcane Surge is now coming from our Arcane Cloak, and then we are getting our main things from Cloak of Defiance. I did get a chance to play with my friend's Mage Blood. I could probably sell things and go get one right now, but I don't really want to. It's just kind of unnecessary from what I've noticed. It wasn't really doing anything that good for me. Like, I used it on some bosses, basically just doing some Ubers, but I don't really care for bossing. So for T17s, like, the Headhunter buffs are just more than better, basically, to cover through all of the boss stuff. So there's no reason to change anything there. Ugh, excuse me. The other big change that we did end up making here is I did end up swapping to a Rational Doctrine instead of the reckless replica reckless defense. So my block did go down a little bit. This, I can correct my block if I feel like spending the money. I just don't really feel like doing so. Like, I could go buy a Fallen here that actually would have up to like 17 or 18% spell block in order to get the spell block up. And then I can just then I could also just basically get some tattoos here to cover the block. Basically just remove the strength, turn it into block, and then use that in order to basically get the block that I need in order to cap my spell block, or cap my block and cap my spell block. But I haven't really found it necessary, so I just haven't really been spending money on anything outside of that. Other than that, the tree didn't really change too much. I did end up having to put in one fire res tattoo because I was a 74% fire res. We should probably move this point back here into the spell block here, but I was just enjoying the extra damage for now instead of having the spell block and the res. So yeah, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. We did end up swapping down to Dreamer. For a while, I was swapping up to Forethought here for the extra damage, but the extra mana cost on the skill was making it to where I couldn't, whenever I'd actually get like Soul Eater and things like that, my mana cost was too high, so I was going out of mana. So basically making this change made it to where we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, we now don't actually go out of mana anymore whenever we're doing that, and then we're still just focused on basically full crit. We did get a Bottled Faith as well. And then yeah, that's kind of where it's at. I'll leave you here with a map showcase, and if you have any questions, leave in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one.
Impressive!